miss our first anniversary for a bachelorette party. The woman my wife is missing our anniversary for hates me because I drove a wedge in their friendship, since my wife obviously spends a large chunk of her time with me. I also see through her bullying bullshit and do not have patience for her. Anytime my wife tries to include this friend in our plans, the friend whines about nearly everything. Yesterday she was car sick when we had to drive an hour and a half to and from the place we went as she sat in the back. She tried to solve the problem by eating potato chips and 2 cans of soda, only to keep complaining she felt sick. She was clearly hinting I should have been the one sitting in the back, but I'm recovering from an injury and the extra room in the passenger seat is helpful. She made very obnoxious digs into my home country and background, to the point where I almost took the train home, leaving my wife with her friends. Living in a new country has already been exhausting. Having to hear things like that from my wife's friend wasn't pleasant. My wife didn't stand up for me against the friend, which hurt my feelings. We spoke at length last night and today about it, agreeing I would never go out with this friend again. My wife also said it was only a matter of time before the friendship ended because she couldn't deal with the negativity and self-centered attitude anymore. On to the problem. April 17th is our first anniversary. My wife is the maid of honor at her wedding and got to choose when the bachelorette party is. She chose the week of our first anniversary, meaning we would be flying home from my home country to a very private getaway. I'd planned on our anniversary and my wife would leave me that night to go to this bachelorette weekend. I'm upset because my wife knew when our anniversary was. She knows this friend doesn't like me at all, and the friend has made digs and comments about my wife getting married before her. I understand my wife is between a rock and a hard place, but I'm tired of having to be understanding at the expense of my feelings over the friend. Edit. I don't know why everyone is dragging my wife. I've said several times this woman is a bully. Have you never had a friend who clearly is friends with a bully? It's a hard place to be in, especially when the bully has been their friend for nearly 20 years. I've seen my wife interact with this friend and be mentally drained continuously now. It's a toxic relationship and those aren't things that are easy to get out of. I've been in a fair few myself, so it's not as simple as she needs to block her. Edit 2. I just had a very long discussion with my wife and explained my feelings. She is ending the friendship with the woman after the woman in the car's birthday party in a week, so there isn't a fallout. She said her own anxiety about the situation was clouding her judgment, making me feel how I did isn't what she wants at all. I'm an action speaks louder than words sort of person, so we'll see what happens. But she was heartbroken and worried I was going to start the conversation with a divorce. Now OP, I can understand why the comments were sort of dragging the wife in this. My initial thoughts myself, rightly or wrongly, was more that you didn't have a friend problem here, you had a spouse problem. But I did find some things weird in this, in that your wife sort of chose the date and decided to do this on your anniversary. She made that choice. It was her decision, which I found really weird and just left me questioning why did she choose that particular day? But some people were asking for some additional information. Someone said, so why have they remained friends for this amount of time? OP says, I don't either. The woman's other friend wised up and dropped her. My wife and this other woman, who I know, will drop as soon as my wife does. She got sucked in because she had a crappy home life. So did I. I'm not an asshole though, and adjusted just fine. I wouldn't jump the gun that the friend will destroy our marriage. My wife has already said it's me a million times over the friend. As I said, the friend is a bully. She has made my wife break down crying because I was too sick to have dinner with the friend when I first moved into the country. I went to the hospital and the woman was giving my wife shit because she didn't get a chance to see me before everyone else. Someone saying on what's more important, the wedding or the anniversary. OP says we spoke today that she prioritizes our relationship well over the one of her and her friend. She doesn't want to rock the boat though. She would 100% say our anniversary. I know this already, but as I said, the friend is a bully and steamrolls people and their feelings. The other people in the car tried to cut off that friend and the soon-to-be bride refused to let her end the friendship. She essentially wore her down until the woman complied. As you'll see in the second edit, I spoke with my wife for nearly 2 hours. She is afraid of the fallout she received from the mutual friends. When I pointed out the mutual friends are likely friends with a person because of her, it was like a light bulb went off. She'd be ending their friendship as soon as this birthday party for that other woman in the original post is over. They were all best friends for the last 20 years, and my wife doesn't want to make things awkward for that friend. In some of the comments on this, Hi, I'm a Dadbot says, not the arsehole, you should be hurt and upset about this. This is at least a couple of times where she's chosen this friend over her husband, and that's not cool at all. Your first anniversary needs to be more important to her and given a higher priority than some lady's party. If it is not, you two are going to have a very limited number of anniversaries. JXGI says, not the arsehole. Wait, your wife chose the date and decided on the week of her anniversary. How is this the fault of her obnoxious friend? No, your wife, for unknown reasons, did this all on her own. She is not between a rock and a hard place. She intentionally decided to mess up your anniversary plans. Why? Only she knows. Why are you still going on a private getaway when your wife is leaving you to go to a party with friends? Stop being tired of your wife prioritizing her friend and stand up for yourself. Your wife is just placating you with the whole ending the friendship BS. Not only are you not as important as the friend, but your first anniversary isn't either. Can you cancel and get your money back? What's the point of going if you won't be together the entire time? You can stay home and be alone. Happy anniversary. Hoshi Jones says, I don't understand. You said in the comments that your wife is going to end the friendship after the wedding. What the fuck? Who accepts a maid of honor position while planning to ditch her friendship with the bride right afterwards? Your wife is playing games, and I don't blame you for being upset. Not the arsehole, but you need to have this out with your wife. She's not being a good partner to you. And one final comment which says, do you have a backbone? Or do you just like letting your wife walk all over you? Her actions are speaking louder than her words. Tell her if she, who planned this, won't change the date, she's told you her priorities. You need to decide where yours is. If it's to always let her have her way without consideration to you, then suck it up. You always have a choice. So OP does update the post and says there were many discussions and disagreements leading up to her ending the friendship. Things would grate at me that the wife was still going along with the friendship for the sake of her other friend in their friendship triangle's birthday party. Every day it was like I was more annoyed because she still hadn't even defended me to the friend, and it was showing she cared less about me and how I felt in her country when she knows how much I miss mine. She knew she needed to end it anyway and said losing our relationship wasn't an option. After a bit of prying, it was clear how psychotic she thinks her friend is. My wife believes her friend will key her car, show up to the house and cause problems, drag all the other friends involved into it. It all came to a head when I told her I was not returning to her country from mine. We're back in mine for a Christmas thing with my family, if the friendship was still intact. She ended the friendship 2 days later, and the friend called me racist towards the very large white, 85% plus, majority of her country. I am white. As expected, the friend has started to go off the rails. So far, it's been excessive phone calls, texts. The friend tried to text me and apologize for her comments to salvage anything with my wife, but I had changed my number a week prior. The apology was something along the lines of, sorry if what I said hurt your feelings, but your words hurt mine. What I said had just pointed out my frustration with lived experiences from the new country every day. Friendship is over, wife is worried ex-friend will key her car. She's genuinely fearful of this ex-friend. We'll be installing another camera as soon as we get home. That only points to her car. I doubt this is the last update. Then we actually booked a vacation for our first year anniversary. Now, totally off topic here, and it's probably going to show the child in me. But whenever I hear anniversary now, all I can think of is Cuphead, the show. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like a cartoon made from the game. One of the characters in it says, anniversary. And the guy goes, it's anniversary. Anniversary. But anyway, as I said, went off topic there. But a lot of the comments on this one were saying, you know, OP is probably right. This isn't going to be the end of this situation. And they're still calling the wife a bit spineless in this. But what is your thoughts on this one? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story.